All right, let's do this. All right, Libra, this one's for you. Cards are well shuffled in advance. We're going to go to the last second so that you're a witness, okay? But before we get into it, we're going to do a little bit of tarot illumination astrodoodle, and hopefully this will help. Now, remember, these are just personal notes, and they might look very messy, but this is as good as it gets over here, and I'm just sharing them with you, okay? So it's kind of a big month of change. A lot of the heavy stressors are moving away. We're moving away from them, and we're going into a big change as opposed to the heavy stress. Now, there is still some heavy stress going on. There was a lot of pressure on the Libra Aries axis in October, and we had the whole Venus retrograde thing in October, and it's still moving into November for a while. So your ruling planet was going backwards, basically, by, it's an optical illusion, but it looks like it's going backwards. So you might have felt these real, setbacks or action replays going on in your life, your whole world, everything, not just relationships, but your whole life, okay? So please allow for that. It's going to change. So actually, I don't think I've marked it on here. Yes, I did. Just now that we're talking about it, on November 7th, mark your calendar, on November 17th, Venus goes direct again in Libra, in your sign. So that should be a tremendous relief for you. Then it's going to start chugging back into its normal direct motion for a while, okay? Let's get some basic dates here. Same for everybody. November 7th, the new moon in Scorpio. Also, Uranus goes retrograde into Aries. It's important for you. And the North Node moves into Cancer. Okay, keep going. Jupiter moves into Sagittarius. Huge, big thing. Okay, it's a one-year journey for all of us. We'll show you in a moment. November 17th, Mercury goes retrograde in Sagittarius. Okay, Mercury retrograde. Mark your calendar. And Venus goes direct. We talked about that. Mark your calendar. So November 22nd, the sun moves into Sagittarius. That is sweet for you, okay? And on the 23rd, right there, the full moon, Sagittarius, sun, moon, and Gemini. Let's go back to the chart for a moment. So there's Venus going direct again. Hallelujah, okay? Now, on November 7th, this is the other thing we were talking about that is really pertinent for the Libras, is that Uranus goes retrograde into Aries, back into your 7th house of primary relationship, okay? It's been going to be there for a few months, so please be patient. It might take you into these action replay rewinds of anything and everything that was going wrong in your private life regarding a significant other. Now, remember, this is just a broad spectrum reading. It's not love and relationships, okay? The big news really is that Jupiter is going into Sagittarius over here. So this is in your 3rd house. Communications, teaching, speaking, listening, the general day-to-day activities of day-to-day life, how we interact, our smartphones, our credit cards, our emails, just generally functioning through life, through business, okay? So this could really be an uplift for you. It's very positive. The Sagittarius Libra dynamic is very conducive for you. It's what's called a sextile, broadly speaking here. And also later in the month, November 22nd, the sun goes into Sagittarius over here too. So that's kind of sweet for you. All right. Let's leave all the other stuff for now. All right. If you want to get into it seriously, you can, get a personal reading and so on. But this is just kind of a generic thing for everybody. Well, the Libras. Watch for your sun, moon, and rising, especially if they're all different. And then, retell the story back to yourself and make it your own movie, okay? So, you've done this before. Please get your invisible friends here, your spirit guides, your angelic beings, all of that, and make it a team effort because it really, really helps to fatten out the reading a bit, all right? Actually, I should have mentioned something about the big Scorpio new moon here, November 7th. It is there in your 2nd house of money, finances, your value, your values, your self-worth, What are your skills? What are your talents? And there's new beginnings here. Okay, it's like a start of a whole new journey for you in that department of your life. We just might want to think of that. How are you valuing others? How are others valuing you? And we do have the full moon. I should have mentioned that. November 23rd. I actually think we did mention it. So it's up there in your ninth house, opposite your third house. So it's actually kind of sweet for you. It could be a very rewarding full moon for you towards the end of the month. Okay. All right, sorry about that distraction there. Doopy doopy doo. Let's just keep going, people. By the way, please consider becoming a member. Check out the links below. Please consider coming to the First Friday group healing events. Check out the links below in the description boxes. And do all the usual likes and subscribes. It really, really, really helps, okay? Tarot Illumination has a lot of room to grow. Let's put it that way. Cards are well shuffled. We're going to cut it up. Bless the deck, bless the cards, bless Tarot Illumination, bless the cameras and the electricity and the channel and YouTube and all the, internet and everything that we can do this at all. Okay, over here is the heart center. Okay, the heart needs what it needs. It wants what it wants. And it's up to us, you Libra, to get as closely in alignment as possible. That's the healthiest, most loving thing you can do in life. All your other chakras, great, but without this, it doesn't matter. You really got to get this sorted out, all right? So that's why we focus on this so much here at Tarot Illumination. It's all about the love. It's all about the healing, all right? So let's listen to that. And over here, what are you bringing in with you? This is legacy energy. What happened to you in October? What happened before that? What happened over the the last year or so? Let's have a look. Over here, the ever-present now. So this is a place where sometimes people feel uncomfortable because it means you have to be fully grounded, present, conscious, and here. No dawdling around in the past, no projecting the future, or, just being present and just dealing with things exactly as they are, right in your face, as information, as facts. And no emotional overlays. It's hard to do that. It's hard to be that way. It's very, very zen. But that's where you own your power. And you can execute and activate your power through the healing power of your decisions. And the most healing decision you can do is to love thyself. So what would that energy look like here? And in so doing, how would we make that work so it's most effective? Okay? And in so doing, create consequences so that you're not a victim of life. And instead of living on autopilot and just thinking that life happens to you and then you just react, you become a co-creator. You become an active participant in making decisions on who am I? What do I really want? What does I need from me right now? How am I going to do that? How am I going to get that? Because that's very, very important. The most loving thing you can do is to nurture yourself this way. And then that gives you the richness to nurture and love the ones around you and get the reciprocal in return, and you grow the love. It's like growing a plant, okay? So we have to learn how to do this. We're not taught how to do this. So when we do it effectively, you become a co-creator. Your life is not fated. Yes, the planets compel. They don't force you to do anything, but they can impel you. So you don't have to be a victim. You can do what you want. Make your own decisions, Libra. I know a lot of time with Libra, you like to just harmonize everything and make sure that nothing bad happens for everybody. And in so doing, that often means avoiding doing anything that actually has to be done if it's a challenging decision, because it's like you want everything to be happy and nice. Okay, so let's have a look. What happens if you mess up? And you just decide, I'm just going to let things tick along. I'm not going to interfere. I'm just going to be nice, and I'm going to try and harmonize and balance everything so that nothing bad happens. Whereas if stuff has to be done, then it has to be done, even if it's uncomfortable. So what happens if you kind of back off and you instead of living in the moment, doing what has to be done, no matter how tough the decisions, you kind of go along to get along. which is in a very self-defeating, subtle, a very subtle form of self-defeating behavior. Okay. On the other hand, once we're in the groove and you are making decisions effectively, what does that look like? And in so doing, creating healthy prospects and momentum for the next beat. Please indulge Terra Illumination. Please see this as a heart. Please see this as the core, pulsing, pulsing, pulsing. It's always beating for you till the day you drop. So please love thyself so that this is optimized above and beyond everything else. Okay. Sorry, I got a bit tongue-tied. It's very busy here in Terra Illumination. We're doing a lot of readings, so if you see bits of spit coming onto the cards and coughing and hacking, or if I need a glass of water or something, please be patient. All right, let's get going. Let's look at circumstantial energy around you. Call it the weather. Okay, all the cards are upside down. Whoopee. So we got the Four of Cups here. Let's flip all the cards first. I just want to make double sure. Yep, okay. Please, we're not going to take this personally. There's no mystical message in any of this. Please don't write in and say anything about that. It's just a mistake. Terra Illumination is a simple creature, and I made a mistake. I shuffled the deck upside down, but all the cards are going to be upright here in this reading now. Alrighty? So with the Four of Cups as circumstantial energy, my first feeling is to remember, Libra, the attitude of gratitude. Number one, be aware of how lucky you actually are. This is right here. It's right in front of you, just like it is for everybody. But for a lot of us, again, it's very hard to notice that we are swimming in love all the time. The question is, are you aware, and what are you going to do about it? The next thing in the message here is to understand that energy flows where attention goes. So if all your attention is focused on woe is me, or how things coulda, woulda, or shoulda have been, or how, from you to others or from others to you, then it's very easy to get deeper and deeper into the slumps and get farther and farther away from what works. This is not the end of the world. To me, it's just a reminder that if you've been knocked around and beaten up, perhaps the October Libra thing was a bit of a jolt for you, with the Venus retrograde and all of that. It could have been very, very hard on you. And you could come out all sore and beaten up, and coming into November. It's understandable. Okay? Don't worry about it. We're going to keep going anyway. All right? We're going to keep going anyway. Let's have a look. What about the core heart here? Okay, well, with the Eight of Swords, my feeling is that, actually, I'm going to go to the charts. Where's that chart a moment ago? All right, I'm just going to say it. At the very end of October, there was a very, very, very stressful Libra, Aries type of polarity axis, which was very stressful. It was very close to the Scorpio Taurus axis. But anyway, it was very, very stressful, and you might have felt a lot of that in some way, shape, or form or other. And with the Eight of Swords here, my feeling is that your heart is saying, please, please be careful. I'm very, very sensitive right now. Yeah, October and Libra season was mine, and we're moving on now, and that's fine. But I feel like I've been knocked around a lot, and I don't have myself together right now. With the Eight Swords here, it feels like having to, it's almost like your heart is, when it gets palpitations, or when you get those flutters, or those feelings of nervousness and anxiety in the heart area, right here. I don't know if you've heard that, but anyway, to me, this is a loud call to be very, very careful right now, because, with the Jupiter thing happening, which is very supportive for you, and the Scorpio new moon, those are big shifts and changes in direction and energy fields. And you might be already kind of fragile coming into November and then going through November, and you don't want to add any more pressure. Okay, so please, please be careful. I think the heart is saying, I can only take so much. I already feel like I'm in a maze, and I'm doing everything the best I can already. Please be patient with me, okay? And then you would need to listen and respond accordingly, like take the pressure off. For example, once Uranus goes retrograde, okay, over here, this could be potentially very stressful for you, okay? It's for a few months, so please allow for that. So I think the heart is like going like, I don't know, it's going to be a lot to handle. Please understand that and be very, very kind and gentle with yourself, okay, Libra? What are you bringing in with you, okay? Oh, I forgot to twiddle this one. Okay, so King of Cups. At least this is an indication that you've been doing a really good job of taking charge of whatever kind of drama and whatever kind of emotional turmoil, upheaval, especially in relationships. This is not a relationship reading. There's a separate playlist, but still, Libra, it was your season just passed, and we had the Venus thing going on, retrograde for weeks and weeks, and it's going to change. It's going forward again, but it could have been very, very tough on you in such a way that you had to like use at your absolute best skills and mastery and most advanced systems for self-love and self-maintenance, and to maintain your dignity, your stature, and your honor primarily to yourself, let alone your significant others in the world around you. And it might have been very, very taxing, because sometimes the role, sometimes, with great power comes great responsibility. And in your situation, it looks like you have had to basically wear the crown, perhaps reluctantly, because you know, it's a heavy crown. All the crowns are heavy. All the kings have a great responsibility because there's great power that comes with it. So it's nothing to be messed around with. So I think this is an indication that you've done very well and you're doing very well, but I have a feeling it's been quite stressful. And I would say bravo, bravo for getting through this and still being coherent and having a chance to continue. Okay, things will change. They are going to change this month. It's going to lighten up a lot more for you, and there's going to be a lot more stability with Earth planets and so on. So do not fear. What about the ever present now? Okay, more cups. With the Page of Cups here, this feels like a very, let's say, a sweet Libra attempt to get back to being classic Libra. Like, please, please, I just want to get back to being me. Uh, I want harmony. I want balance. I want love and relationships. I want to love. I want to be loved. I want to know how that works properly. I want to be valued. I want to value others properly. I want to communicate with others, and I want others to communicate with me properly. Over here, all that Scorpio Sagittarius stuff. And I know I've got the Mercury retrograde coming up towards the middle of the month, but I can handle it. I'm pretty sure I can handle it. I know I have a lot to learn. It's okay. And I'm so freaking glad that Venus is going direct again. Please, please, everybody, forgive me in my innocence. I'm doing the best I can. I really don't know everything all the time, even though I am Libra, the sign of love, ruled by Venus, the planet of love and harmony and balance and all of those things. I'm doing the best I can, and I have the best of intentions. So that's very good. I'm really happy to see this for you, Libra. Uh, so in that, let's just basically say my feeling here is that things are quite fragile for you, okay? And getting shaken up a little bit. The excitement is good with the Jupiter stuff, Sagittarius, but still, it's a big, big change from where things have been. So the ultimate thing here at Tarot Illumination is love thyself. So how are we going to do that? You do that through the healing power of your decisions. And in the now, right now, let's just accept that there's a higher degree of innocence about what to do, how to do it, how to be when it comes to these matters of heart and love and relationship. And you have to make decisions anyway. So what does that look like? Okay, a lot of cups energy here. I feel this is you taking full ownership of your domain, and you're being very, very determined to attain mastery and get into the groove where you are, let's say, living by example. You are becoming classic, optimized, best Libra possible, where you judiciously, let's say, assess and evaluate your life, your world, the situations, the people around you, and you make very conscientious, deliberate decisions about where to allocate your love. The love energy that you have and the love energy that others deserve. Love is like over here, it's like almost like an infinite supply of it. But the reality is in 3D, we have to make decisions about how we're going to allocate all this love and what we're going to do with it. And this is hard earned, okay? Everything that's happening here for you, Libra, is very, very hard earned. So it's like you can't squander this. As much as you might want to make the whole world, we want to make the world to sing in endless harmony. The thing is that you can only do so much, and you have to start with the self. What is it that you need to love thyself? What does it look like for you to love thyself? What are you going to do with the loving energy that you have to love yourself first, so that you can ease yourself out of the maze, out of the puzzle, all the confusion, and get back into the groove of being Libra? That's like the core theme of the decision making. Then we figure out, how do we actually do that? Okay, we be very, very, very careful. My feeling here with this is that you become extremely aware that it's so, so easy to self-sabotage. Okay, you might have learned that the hard way recently, and you might be getting action replays with the Uranus and Aries retrograde. Be extremely careful with your words, with your thoughts, and your very first feelings, your gut feelings, your intuition, your heart energy, your soul energy. It leads to first feelings, which leads to thoughts, which leads to words, which can lead to actions and deeds, consequences and outcomes. And that's all on you. Okay? So my feeling here, especially with Mercury retrograde and this whole thing about the Sagittarius energy here really building up for you, is as great as it is, as supportive as this is for you. This is nice, juicy sextile, nice trines, everything over here at the end of the month. But be very, very careful. Be very careful with your thoughts and your words, so you don't get tangled back up in old ways of self-defeating behavior. You don't need that. Nobody needs that, okay? It's very precarious, okay? You have to be, it's almost like you have to be extra, extra super diligent, extra super careful now with these new big shifts happening. Like, what are you actually going to do with your capacity to love, okay? To spread that harmony, that Venus love harmony stuff. Be very careful. You just can't go out randomly like, I love you, man. I love you, man. I heard it from Terra Lumination. Be loving, be loved. I am loving, I am loved. You've got to actually own all that. You've got to know what it means from the inside out. So you have to devote some of that love directed to yourself. Then once you own it, be very, very careful how you disperse and disseminate and communicate and share that love, okay? Very careful. It's nothing to be squandered. And in so doing, you create consequences. Okay, you start to see signs of a new journey unfolding for you. And I think that's going to be to do with the Scorpio new moon and the Sagittarius ingress, the Jupiter ingress into Sagittarius. It's going to open up new vistas for you, especially in the way that you conduct yourself with your people. Like in day-to-day life, it's going to open up things in healthier ways for you, and you're going to see that that was your own good doing, because you're coming in here with very good intentions to heal and grow and beyond from where you were. And even though you might have had a really bumpy time, perhaps you can see that as growing pains. All right. So what happens if you mess up, if you squander this, or you pretend it's not happening, or you're just reckless and oblivious to all the challenges around you, and you just live on autopilot and everything is just kind of an ongoing train wreck? You miss out on all of this. It's sad. Okay? This is a beautiful card here. So when you are in the groove, and when you are, let's say, very judicious and responsible with that love energy that you have. If you think of the healing power of love as a fluid, something like water that moves through a hose, and then you own the hose, you own the nozzle. What are you going to do with it? How are you going to direct it? Where are you going to spray it around? Are you going to waste it, throwing it into a drain? Are you going to make best use of it, moistening up fertilized, fertile ground? Are you going to expand and heal those who need that love from you? These are your decisions to have to make. Okay, so when you do that judiciously, what happens is you get into a situation where you are loving and you are loved and you are appreciated, and others see you as being on mission, on path. Like, wow, Libra is really starting to get tuned in, like Libra on steroids, where people get it. They say, hey, Libra, wait a minute. We know you had a really rough time lately, but you know what? You're showing all the signs that you've got your act together in understanding what it means to be loving and be loved. Can you, come over here to our side, our party, and hose us down, please? We would love to know. You're welcome. Bring all your cool stuff. We'll share our cool stuff with you. We want to celebrate you, Libra. We love you, Libra. Come and hang out with us. Be with us. That's lovely. Lovely to see. Okay. And the beauty of it is that with the Five of Pentacles here, you get a really, really big glimpse of anything and everything where you've been missing. It's almost like coming out of, the poverty mentality and realizing, my gosh, look at that. Like, you figured it out. Like, because, the pentacles are there. The assets are there, the talent. If you think pentacles is measurable quantities of love, like tokens, it's right there. But sometimes, especially in love and relationships, we can often make mistakes. We don't know we're making mistakes because most of the time we come into these things with the best of intentions. And you start to get a really vivid glimpse of anything and everything that you did wrong, that you have to take responsibility for, that you have to own, which led you into these conditions of, like, say, emotional poverty, relationship poverty, romantic poverty, poverty of the heart, poverty of the soul. And it becomes starkly crystal clear. And once you know that, and so you're not a victim of this anymore, you become very, very aware of the healing power of your decisions. Like, wow, it just takes one decision to throw myself into, relationship poverty, emotional poverty, poverty of heart and soul. It takes one decision to do exactly the opposite and create that sense of family and sharing that's good, where you can heal this stuff. You don't have to be this way. You can be this way. And it's your choice, Libra. Libra, the scales, the energy of decisions. Libra, like, often terrified of making decisions, but also knowing that you have to make a decision. I think that whole energy of decisions here is very, very important. How you literally, it's almost like, let's say it's good, bad. Let's keep it simple. Do you want this, Libra? And if so, are you making decisions to do that and make that happen in your life? And poor Libra. Or do you want this? Are you making the right decisions with your loving energy to do that and be that? Hopefully, yes. So it's your choice. Which one do you want? This or this? Okay? That's what's at stake here. It's very simple, but simple is not easy. Dun, 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 dun. Thank you, Libra. All right, I don't want to say anything else. Don't want to spoil it. Hope you get something out of this. Thank you for visiting Tarot Lumination. All the best. Take care. Bye-bye.